Hello there and welcome back, Cozy Club. We've got an exciting video for you guys today as we're going to be breaking down everything, the news, the notes, and all the details about the upcoming new game mode, Summoner's Showdown. Now, we should be expecting this game mode either later today or it's going to be coming out very soon. But either way, I want to get you guys best prepared for the game mode, get you guys knowing everything you need to know, the good, the bad, the ugly. And in addition, we are going to also take a look at the first set of requirements of characters for the first showdowns. We're going to break down some of the best teams, what each character is going to bring to the battle or bring to the showdown itself, and try to give you guys the tools to get you guys climbing the leaderboard and getting the best rewards possible. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. Alright, Cozy Club, well, welcome to the Summoner's Showdown. We're pretty sure this is going to be the new backdrop. They teased this on the devs live Q&A on my Twitch. But on today's video, we're going to go ahead and start out with the Summoner's Showdown's basics to get you guys familiarized with the game mode, what you can expect, and pretty much what we know so far. Again, it's either coming out later today or sometime very soon. So essentially, Summoner's Showdown is a new real-time live PvP game mode coming to DSA. It's a new game, the new PvP mode that they've been talking about, and there's a lot to get excited about it. The very first thing you guys should know about this new game mode is it's not going to be a game mode that you can jump in and go into at any time. There is going to be a season to it. There's going to be what looks to be 5 showdowns into a monthly season, and we'll break that down here in just a moment. But how the devs have put it is essentially new seasons will introduce monthly custom character and gear requirements, and then during the course of a season there will be multiple showdown events available where different pools of characters from the seasonal roster will be required. They have also made a point to say there will be huge or big rewards, and not only rewards just from completing a showdown, but it looks like there's going to be a seasonal reward as well as rewards per specific showdown. And that's definitely a big talking point on today's video. The rewards have got to be absolutely banger. We just got a Club Conquest update, and the rewards were less than stellar, to put it lightly. Definitely underwhelming, and I could pretty much make a full video just about that. But for people to really get invested and get involved in this game mode, you've got to have great rewards for the time spent into it. So that's the first hope. I'm hoping they've got good, big rewards as they've stated. And there's multitude of payouts both within each showdown and then the entire leaderboard. Involving the characters, we're going to really have to theory craft and come up with different teams with the set amount of characters that they're going to give us. And to break down some of the character more specific details, essentially there's going to be a bolster effect is what they're calling it, that they want to accomplish to more even the playing field. Now, there's a lot we don't know about this, but essentially what it looks like is if you take an X unit at, let's say, 3 stars, let's take anger. You take an anger at 3 stars, that's going to go ahead and go up to a 7-star T7 anger, or T8 hopefully, to get everybody more on the same playing field. Now, where this does have a little bit of concerns, most likely is if I've got a T8.5 anger, I don't think that's going to go down, and my character is definitely going to blow yours out of the water. But I've got to say, it's definitely a big step for them to go ahead and try to even the playing field, taking a whale or a kraken that spends thousands and saying, hey, you're going to be going up essentially against the same character that a free-to-play player has, is exciting and more progressive news for a mobile game. So I do like that. But we're going to have to see how that kind of flushes out, and it looks like it could change season to season. They've released the big, giant list of characters, which was great. They released ahead of time. They could have released it week by week, forcing people to kind of scramble. I do like that they released the entire next month of what characters and what showdowns, and you're going to need 5 characters and 2 spells at least into each and every showdown to participate. Now, having 5 characters should be easy for the majority of people, and it's going to be really interesting to take your 5 and really try to give it all you got. Or if you were big on Toy Story and you've got that whole team unlocked, finally it's your chance to use those souped up Toy Story characters. All in all, I'm really excited about all the character information we just talked about. I think it's going to be great that they're encouraging us to use characters that we would never really be using in live PvP. Simba, Monterey Jack, Jack Sparrow, some of those less utilized kind of FD and somewhat C tier units. However, there's this next portion that we're going to talk about, and I've got a lot of thoughts about it. Let's take a look at stamina potions. So essentially, each and every character that they pick in this showdown is only going to get a number of uses before you can't use them anymore. So once that has been all washed out, you'll be able to use stamina potions to go ahead, refresh them, and continue to use them in the showdown. But let's break down these stamina potions and how you get them. Now, they say that we can get them through daily quests, and also you can go ahead and get them in exchanges. And I'm really hoping that is the club exchange or sorcerer tournament exchange, and not just premium and buying them with gems. And if you don't have any stamina potions, it looks like you can use gems to refresh the characters. Now, this mechanic really doesn't surprise me. Any new game mode in these kind of games are going to have some kind of way that the pay-to-play players can go ahead and refresh to get a somewhat of an advantage. What I want to go ahead and draw y'all's attention to, though, is the amount of refreshes. On the Discord, it says here, the Season 1 character refresh limit will be 10 and is subject to change with each season. 10 is way too much. Now, they said this is going to be an experimental season, and I can already tell you, this is what is going to have to change for this to be a successful, new, exciting game mode that we're all looking forward to, no matter how great the rewards are. Because essentially what they're doing here with 10 refreshes is they're really making it against what they're trying to create with the game mode and killing the spirit of theory crafting that they want to accomplish. So, for instance, Moana is the must-use character in the first showdown. We're going to go through the teams here in a moment. But if I can go ahead and just refresh Moana over and over and over again, then I'm not having to experiment with the other plethora of characters in each and every showdown. And rather than trying to, okay, I don't have Moana, I've got to use somebody else. That's what I think they were hoping to accomplish. There are two sides to this coin. Not everyone has a lot of characters, so you can refresh your best characters. But then on the other end of scales, you've got the whales and the krakens that are just going to refresh and refresh and refresh. And it's who can click the most gems rather than more skill and equal playing field that they're trying to accomplish. I think a happy middle ground is maybe 5 or 3 refreshes rather than 10. And then that way, everyone gets to use their characters, but then it forces you to come up with more creative teams, and it makes it a very much more fair playing field for everybody involved. So wrapping up the details about the Summoners Showdown, essentially, there's going to be different battle phases that you're going to be able to go in and compete in these showdowns. And they said that they have specific times to encourage more people kind of filtering into the showdown themselves, which it's going to be great for streaming, but these times are a little bit wonky. I mean, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. PST or Pacific time, and then you've got 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific time. Now, going back to my stamina point, essentially is you're getting all these refreshes. You're going to have to battle at least in both of these phases or all of one of them, which, guys, DSA is my life, but there's no way I'm waking up first thing in the morning all the way to 10 a.m. and then all the way at night to go until 10 p.m. unless those rewards are juicy. So it's 2 birds with 1 stone if they kind of lower those stamina packs, because then you're going to be able to go ahead, go into one of these battle phases, give it the best you've got until you've run out of those refreshes, and then you're all done. I am pretty excited about the fact that like everyone's going to be in there at once. It's going to be like just a bloodbath and everyone's using the same characters. There's a lot to be excited about, the characters and just the reoccurring game mode, and that these characters are going to change. And there's a lot of fluidity with this. Has me excited, but again, experimental season. I think a lot could change by the next time we see it. So that is everything you need to know about the Summoners Showdown. Again, you're going to take this group of characters, try to make your best teams. They're going to be bolstered up to all be an even playing field. You're going to go against one another, be able to refresh those characters, and you're going to get points on defeating a character, your character surviving, and a bunch of other points that we can break down in this graphic here. Okay, so we've got all the details, right? And now we've got the new Summoner Showdown Season 1 happening either later today, tomorrow, or probably next week at the latest. And if this is a video type that you guys want to continue to see, let me know down in the comments below, or let me know by liking today's video. I'm going to break down all of the characters in the first week of the Summoner Showdown, what they can offer on the battlefield, and then what teams I would suggest to try to create. Now, each and every showdown have vastly different characters. This first one, pretty brutal. There's a lot of characters people don't have. Let's go ahead and go through each and every character. Before the character breakdown, one thing I want to note is, guys, there's going to be no leadership abilities, at least with this first week. So synergy between characters, even one or two of them, or faction synergy is going to be vastly important in this game mode. So let's go ahead and break down each of them very quickly with a couple of lines about each character. The first character on the Summoner Showdown that we're going to talk about Season 1 is going to be Genie. Now, Genie's going to be a nice offense support character. He's going to have a little bit of synergy. We'll see the other characters here in a moment. He's got a nice cleanse, a silence that can shut down with a real firecracker any of those big offense threats on the other team. If you got Peter Pan Shadow, stack that with his basic for some nice high damage. If there are debuffs, which you can expect a lot with Honey Lemon raining down, you're going to really get duplicates out on the field, producing a lot of damage. I like Genie because of the Friend Like Me ability. Essentially, when one of your teammates should have died, Genie is going to put invincibility and protect them. Genie's definitely a nice character to have in this showdown, and I would recommend putting him in on one of your teams. Eve is our next character, and I know not a lot of you guys have her. However, Eve is going to be great because of her basic, able to go ahead and counter Conjuring Cauldron out on the field, and she's got a nice vulnerable to get more crits out there. The best two parts about her is high damaging basic, able to melt down people with tech synergy, and Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom is going to do a whopping 20% turn meter reduction. Really, guys, turn meter is going to be everything here because of the lack of leaderships. Eve is going to give you a massive turn advantage after turn 1, and it's going to be a major threat you're going to want to take down. We come to the best character on the list. This is going to be the character you're going to see pretty much recommended on every team. Moana is the big, heavy S-tier offense dealer. Guys, we just did the tier list. She's at the top of it for a reason. She's going to synergize with characters with slow, so you definitely want to pair her up with Honey Lemon or other characters that inflict slow. She's got a big multi-hit with more ore, please. More ore. Her crashing wave will absolutely devastate enemies, and essentially just like Zerg, if you kill an opponent, you're gonna get a brand new turn back. Her passives do auto taunts and offense up. Moana is honestly, with Showdown number 1, the must-have character on the list. That brings us to our first community vote. Now, there's gonna be different characters we can vote on as a community, and Honey Lemon won. You guys already know about Honey Lemon. She's got great slows. Pairing her up with Moana is gonna be absolutely clutch, but she's going to be a massive use in this game mode with her stun, and she's able to really shut down some of the other opponents. Purging is going to be massive in this game mode, trying to get rid of taunts or other buffs on the field, and Honey Lemon is definitely going to be a must-have on most of your teams, especially with Moana. Bringing us to our first tank on the board, it's going to be Simba. Now, Simba is really slow, although he is very tanky with his lack of speed. He's got insane offense. However, the thing I like about him is he's going to be hard to take down. He heals. He has a nice turn meter reduction with both Downwind Dash and Royal Roughhousing. He's got offense down, and altogether, Simba's going to be a very unique tank. He won't be the best tank in this game mode. We'll get to that person in just a moment, but Simba is going to be used on a lot of my teams. Just make sure you've got a Speed Stone. I myself will be using him, but not a lot of people have him up, and if you don't have some key upgrades, you're not going to be able to use him well. We might as well go to probably arguably the best tank that's going to be in this first wave, and that is Jasmine. Now, first of all, you can pair her with Genie for a little bit of Aladdin synergy, but Raja being his own kind of damage sponge, putting him out there and forcing the enemies to attack him is going to be big. Thus is why you will need some purges. You don't need to have this leveled up at all, and so she's got some cleansing, nice damage overall. Jasmine's going to fit well into a ton of teams, and most of you guys have her. If she's brought up to a level playing field, that means Raja's stats should increase as well, giving you a very solid and fast tank. Her, Simba, and one other are going to be the main tanks of this game mode. Cruella de Vil. Now, we won't talk long on her. She's the most exclusive on this list. She just came out. You're going to need Kingdom villains to have her. Cruella can't really do what she's meant to do, as she needs summoned units around her. However, she'll be used in most of my teams because of her ability to AoE heal. Now, there's not a lot of villains, and the only summonable units are Jasmine's Raja and Genie's Duplicate. So you're going to want to make sure you put her with one of those two. We'll show the teams here in a second. She has some nice debuffs, good healing overall, and a nice AoE purge. But again, we won't spend too much time, as I know a ton of you guys don't have her. Daisy Duck, you've got a support and an offense, kind of like Genie, all in one package. She's going to be able to give offense up, but more importantly, she's going to be able to extend the helpful effects around the teammates around her, like Simba or Raja's taunt, and then you can give Moana or your other offense characters offense up to get more bang, and you get some counterattacking. Daisy's going to be a great character. You don't have to have her abilities too leveled up for her to do her job well. I see her being in a lot of y'all's teams just because of her abilities and her overall kit use. Barley Bob's baby. Barley obviously is going to be a huge character. Pair him up with Moana to create the Crashing Wave team. Again, you can check that team up on the top right of this video to see how to use the team. Barley's huge. Barley, not only with his giant crit damage and making your offense dealers even hit harder, on top of that, you're going to be able to get some mass assist with his basic, a taunt removal, that purge we were talking about, and magic reduction with Guinevere. Barley is mostly a must-have on most of these teams. Another pretty exclusive character is Wally. Now, we've talked about it. Wally would be a lot better if he wasn't broken. Right now, his basic does not do what it should. Essentially, he should go ahead and be hitting with Eve every time she goes. However, he's not doing so at the moment, but he does have a nice AoE cleanse that will be clutch with Honey Lemon, putting those slows out. He can take a fair amount of damage, and all in all, Wally should be good if using him with other tech characters. But again, probably not a lot of you guys have him. Unless you have to, just don't use him, guys. Don't use him. Between his abilities and what he can do altogether, he hits like a wet noodle. He's not great. He doesn't have mythicals to support around him outside of like Horn King. You don't want to use Hermes, again, unless you absolutely have to. Go ahead and comment down below if you're going to be forced to use him. Horn King, our other mythical, he's a beast in the raids. One of the best phase 2 characters in the game. However, not going to be so good in this game mode. He should be able to do some nice damage, and he can heal himself with Feed the Cauldron. But after that first cooldown, it's going to be rough. He's got a strong basic attack, but he really gets better with the more mythicals on the field, and you're not going to have a lot to support him. If you have him, he should do pretty solid. If you don't have his abilities up, it could be a little bit rough, but you should be good to go. The next offense character, Anger, he's going to be definitely one that's going to be used outside of Moana. A lot of you guys should have Anger unlocked just through a variety of different ways. Now, as you guys can see, I don't have his abilities up either, and Anger's interesting. Really great against shields and great passive. However, you will need some ability upgrades. He's got an AoE purge, or at least a chance to, but you're going to have to take up this all the way up. If you've got this all the way up to level 4, you definitely want to use Anger. He's going to be a mass purger, giant damage. I plan on using him for a fair amount of teams. Anger should be a solid choice, whereas otherwise, usually not. The terror of the night, and not really much of this game mode, you've got Darkwing Duck. Now, I can see a lot of cheeky lineups using and utilizing him. He's great with debuffs like Blind. He can do a lot more against villains. He does have an AoE, or not an AoE, but an adjacent purge, which is going to be clutch. Again, I can see him in some teams. He's going to be a tech character. You're going to want to pair him up with tech characters. All in all, he's not great even with Gizmo Duck. He doesn't have Gizmo. I would avoid him unless you've got Eve and Wally. Captain Jack Sparrow, where is the rum? The rum has been out for months and months on this character. Not a great character typically at the moment. He should have a little bit of use. The adventurers are going to have the most synergy within this new game mode at the first showdown with Moana, Barley, and now you've got Captain Jack. He has a nice AoE, and he does have a double potential charm that could come in clutch and be a game winner for a lot of you guys. You don't need to have his abilities up all too much, so Jack will be a nice kind of plug-and-play character. Pair him up with Moana for even more oceanic damage. Should be pretty solid. Monterey Jack. This guy could be a pretty strong tank. Now, in my opinion, not as good as Jasmine, but he's another adventurer. So pair him up. He's got good synergy. Put him with all the adventurers, and you could have a nice synergy team without those leaderships. He's got a stun. He's got a heal. I like Monterey Jack. He should be able to level up really nicely. His kit kind of adapts well, even without ability upgrades. Monterey Jack is going to be another tank option for you. Rafiki, man. Wow. I can't wait to use Rafiki. I'm never going to use him. He's got a nice stun and a cleanse. A little bit of a healer, although he's not going to be as good of an option as some of the other characters. Pair him up with Simba for a little bit more synergy, and his passive is decent at best. It's going to be interesting to see the teams with Rafiki, but you definitely don't really want to use him. So going through the characters, that brings us to our teams, my friends, and we've got ourselves the first 3 teams here. The first team there is going to be all about summoned units. This one is going to be more obviously of a pay-to-play team, as you're going to need Corella, and you're going to really play off the Raja and the genies out there to go ahead and feed up and heal your team while doing all the damage with Moana and Barley. Now, in addition, Team 2, you guys can see a common occurrence. Moana is going to be the must-have character, and she is the main primary damage dealer. This next team is Protect Moana. We've got all the tanks we could have. Simba, you could probably take out if you want to put in one other character like Anger or Honey Lemon. Honey Lemon obviously pairs up perfectly with Moana. Get the slows out there, double slap the paddle. Team number 2 is going to be very solid. Team number 3 is going to be the Tech Faction Synergy team between the Moana and Honey Lemon relationship, and then also Eve and Wally. Eve is going to be popping off all the time. This is going to be a very strong team and one that I plan on using myself. For our last set of teams, we've got 4, 5, and 6. 4 is going to be going off that adventure synergy, guys. We're going to be giving Daisy Duck, getting the offense up to our more powerful units like Moana and Honey Lemon, while tanking with Monterey Jack and supporting with Barley. Team number 5 is going to be very interesting here. You've got yourself a way to extend Simba's taunts with Daisy to keep that taunt up, get Anger busting out those big hits. You've got Barley for the support, and again, surprise, you have Moana. And lastly, team number 6 is going to be the Moana team again, but with a little bit of differences, getting a lot more offense out there and giving yourself much more of a chance. Overall, I am ecstatic about this game mode, guys. I think it's gonna be a home run hit after a little bit of adjusting. Now, with those teams, you don't have to use Moana on every team. That's why I went through all of them to make sure that you know what each character does and their purpose for the battle. Those are gonna be my best suggested teams, and all of this is only week 1. We're gonna have new teams and new sets of characters each and every week. So let me know, guys, do you want me to go ahead and break down their synergies and make a video weekly with this game mode? Let me know down in the comments below or by liking this video. I'm ecstatic to have kind of a new video series that would be a lot of fun, and hopefully, guys, you enjoyed today's video. We broke down everything you need to know, as well as the best suggested teams and characters. My friends, thank you guys so much for coming to the Cozy Club, and until next time, stay cozy.